Is it maybe time to change things up in Edmonton? Hello, mother puckers, and welcome back to another episode of the Pucked Up Podcast. I am Chris, and joined with me today is Danger.
What?
Dee is not feeling well. Obviously we've been gone the past couple weeks because everybody been sick. So so we're
Has
fine.
not been very pleasant.
No, and then I've been working my life away. So, but no, this is the first time, Danger, that it's actually been you and me.
True story.
Last season there was a couple episodes of just Dee and I. So
Yeah.
this is fun and exciting. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and if you're in Canada, I hope you had a great Thursday. If you guys don't know, Sports Center on TSN went kind of viral for one of their anchors, which I know his name. He's in Letterkenny and Shoresy all the time. I can't think of his name. But he goes, there are no games today in the NHL as they're celebrating American Thanksgiving, or as we like to call it in Canada, Thursday. Shit was brilliant. I was like, this is top tier content. We do have some pretty wild stuff to talk about already, and it's only Tuesday as time of recording.
Yeah.
Let's start with the bloodbath that was the meeting of the Kachuk brothers this season. One of the two meetings. Panthers won 5-0, but not before they set 157 penalty minutes,
Oofda.
including one giant brawl. It was equal to what did it say? 106 minutes. Oh, 167 total penalty minutes in the game. 106 of them were just from one fight. So many people got 10-minute game misconducts. Brady had 16 penalty minutes. Matthew had, was it 10 or 11? Matthew had, where are you, Matthew Kachuk? He had 11 penalty minutes. So I guess at one point they went after each other. I don't know. It's just somewhere Keith Kachuk is smiling because he knows his boys are as crazy as he is.
Right.
I don't know, man. I didn't get to watch it, but my social media was blowing the fuck up.
Mine was too, yeah.
Yeah, it was. What a way to start the week. I would say when the Kachuk brothers are at each other, and we've talked about in here that we think it'd be fun for them to be on the same team. I don't know if I want them to be on the same team now.
Right?
Because
it may not be the best for anybody else involved at that point.
There was another thing that just happened today as a time of recording, Danger. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Corey Perry was released by the Blackhawks. I forget the wording. I just read the thing off. But something between him and supposedly no teammates or teammates' family members were involved. It was improper actions both in the NHL player's contract and the Blackhawks organization.
That is completely not what the internet is thinking.
Yeah, the internet is, if you haven't heard, we're not spreading the rumor, we're just reporting on the rumor.
Correct.
That the rumor is that Corey Perry slept with Connor Bedard's mother. And Connor, as one would be, isn't too happy about that idea.
Yeah.
Can't say that I would blame him.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
At the same time, we're all adults, right?
Yeah. Shit happens. You know?
There was also some reporting that it may be due to heavy drinking, and that was partially why he ended up not getting renewed in Tampa. But that seems relatively a newer storyline. So we'll have to wait and see if anything else comes out. But
yeah, I mean, Corey hasn't exactly had the squeakiest of, career.
Right.
I mean, hopefully, if it is due to alcohol, then hopefully he gets that taken care of, and then he can at least try to finish out his career. A lot of people are asking if this is it for him, if this is where his career is over. I don't know.
I mean, I'd say probably. Um, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing here is like, his does he need to keep playing to solidify himself as having a great career? He won a Stanley Cup. He's won the Hart Trophy. Corey Perry, I think, is a future Hall of Famer. Um,
Right.
I don't know if this is. I think maybe this is where it might be time to be like, hey, maybe I should be done. Because he's almost
Right.
40. Um, and if not, just sign like a one day deal with Anaheim and go retire a Duck.
If at this point they even will let him.
I think they will, just because he's done so much for the team.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I'm like, it's a weird situation. But what's weird about it is, again, that there is no information other than this is what they've put out. Also, I don't know if I trust anything that the Blackhawks organization has to say about like privacy and
Anything.
professionalism.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I will say, however, that some more positive news on a former Blackhawk. Patrick Kane signed a 1-year, $2.75
Yeah.
million contract with the Detroit Red Wings. This is his attempt at coming back from a hip surgery that he had in the summer. I think this is a great move for Detroit. I think this helps balance out that first line really well with Larkin and with Alex DeBrincat. Um, and again, I feel like Patty's going to want to go out on his own terms and not just like get unceremoniously ditched because
Right.
they were just trying to dump some cap. Um, and I mean, he played really, really fucking well with the Rangers, so
Right.
I don't see anything. I don't see any problem here. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what's next for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out and where he goes from here.
And it's not like Detroit's a bad team. Detroit's a really good team right now. Like they started off
Right.
very well. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean that has to go into it at some point. If you think like
Right.
you think about, he's 35. He's probably got realistically 3 or 4 more years to play. I feel like you're gonna want to go find a team that maybe has a good shot to win the cup.
Right.
So, um, yeah, I think that's a solid move for Detroit.
Yeah. I
I know
agree.
I know you have some wild news that you would like to report on.
Yeah, as of yesterday, the Wild fired our head coach Dean Evanson and assistant head coach Woods, Bob Woods, I think Bob is his first name. Um, and at first I have a love-hate relationship with Dean sometimes.
As fans do with
At the
their
same
coach.
time, yeah. Um, but it's sad to see him go. You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
you never want to see that happen. Even though it was definitely time, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, so they left, and then John Hines is our new head coach. And whatever pep talk he did with the boys today seemed to work. We won our first game in 8 games now. We just won it 3-1. So, and against St. Louis too, which is not a team that we have an easy time winning against most of the time. So,
Right.
um, excited for the new chapter. Still kind of sucks because sometimes it's hard to like see something go away, but at that same time, it was time to say goodbye.
Right. Yeah, sometimes the
So
breakup is always...
right, yeah. Like as hard as it is, it's a necessary thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Um, I mean, that ties perfectly into talking about the standings.
yeah.
It's not looking good at the bottom here. Your bottom 5 in the league: 28th, the Ottawa Senators; 29th, the Edmonton Oilers; 30th, the Minnesota Wild. And tied for that last place spot is Chicago and San Jose. Um, your top in the league is the Rangers, the Bruins, and the Golden Knights, all tied with 31 points so far. Colorado is 4th, and the LA Kings are tied with Vancouver right now for 5th place. Um, I feel like there's not a lot of questions up top. Your top 5 are, I mean, I would say top. The only shock to me in the top 5
Mm-hmm.
is Vancouver, even though they're technically 6th, but like they have the same amount of points as the Kings. Like they're the only shock because it was like a bomb went off in that franchise last year, and it's a
Yeah.
miraculous turnaround. Um, I mean, even looking at like Winnipeg in 9th, Carolina's 10th. Um, like those are teams that like at least Detroit being 11th, that was a big turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still, my mind cannot get wrapped around the Edmonton Oilers being this bad.
Mine can. No, I get what you're saying, and it'll be interesting to see, what happens with McDavid, because there are now trade rumors going on. At least as far as I know, there's still rumors.
And from what I've heard, none of them have been good.
Yeah, which is interesting. You would think that everybody would want him,
Well,
given
think
the
about what
opportunity.
you're going to have to give up.
True.
What are you willing to give up for the best player in the world? Like, it would really need to be worth Edmonton's while.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
big
fair.
fucking trade. Like, I was actually talking to my dad about it, and he's like, "Oh, I'd love to see him in Pittsburgh." I'm like, "I'm sure you will, but do you understand what they'd want for him?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, "Oh, give up a pick." I'm like, "You think they only want one pick for him? You are out of your fucking mind."
Yeah.
um, yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't know. I do
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't either.
I do want to give some love to the Dallas Stars in 8th. I mean, they had a pretty crazy year last year. They did a lot better than I think a lot of people were expecting. But I mean, Robertson went off last year, obviously. So good on them for being in the top 10 right now to start the season. That is a great start for them, and I'm very curious to see if they can do better than last year in the playoffs.
Right.
But I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure they were one of the teams that got slaughtered by the juggernaut that is the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah,
Do we
kind of
think
created a
Well, do we
beast with
think it's a
Vegas.
safe bet to say that there's a good shot that Vegas can repeat this year?
Repeating is just such a rare thing to see nowadays anyway.
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, we did see Tampa do it, and Tampa made the Stanley
Right, but
Cup
Tampa
Finals
did it
3
in
years in a
COVID,
row.
and that doesn't count.
They
Like,
technically did do it in COVID. So if you want to count the last real one was Pittsburgh in what, 2017, 2018?
right.
Or
And
2016,
it's like,
2017,
I
something like
mean,
that.
it's not fair to say it doesn't count because it was COVID, but like that was
They
how
were
we
good
always
enough
jokingly
though.
said.
Yeah, they very much so were a good enough team. I think honestly,
Right.
if they had played anyone but Colorado, they could have won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And the last time that had been done, it's been a long time. Um,
Right.
I don't know. They didn't really lose anyone, and they're they're firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a crazy thought. Do we
I don't
want to?
know. It'll be exciting to see it and see if they can pull it off. But
And the
I don't
season's
know.
still early. I mean, there's
Yeah, it is.
we're what 20 games into an 82 game season. We're like a
Right.
quarter of the way through the season.
Right.
Um, there's still a lot here, but I think we're gonna see, or I think we're gonna start seeing in the next month where teams and like where teams actually sit. Like I think we're at the time now where this is where we're really gonna see what everyone's got.
Right.
Especially like I'm shocked after the New Jersey Devils did so well last year. They are 19th in the league. They are 10-9-1. They are
Wow.
just
That's weird.
barely over 500.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to think about. Like and like the Penguins, I expected Pittsburgh to be like starting off really well, and they're at 500 in the season right now.
Right.
So I don't know. It's this is such a weird year already.
Yeah, it is. It
uh,
very much is.
do we want to head into our question of the week?
Yeah. Hit me with it.
Our question of the week is there a chance for a complete rebuild in Edmonton? Obviously, as we've talked, they are really bad. Um, there's already trade rumors, which I'm sure they're not even looking at trade rumors for McDavid realistically. But do you think we are going to see the pieces fall into place for there to be just cleaning house and starting fresh?
It's an excellent question. Um, I think if McDavid does leave, yes.
If McDavid leaves, they're fucked.
Yeah. And that's why I think like if he for sure leaves and just says, peace out, homies, I'm done, I think that they're more likely to then just go into a complete rebuild phase. If
Is
that
that
makes sense.
I mean he's already been showing his frustrations with the organization
Mm-hmm.
very early on. And I think a lot of their success last year, very much so, was due to the fact that he had such an amazing season.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I feel like if we don't see anything by the All-Star break that signifies a legitimate change in direction, I see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pieces changing. I see front office stuff, management. I can see players starting to get traded. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of talent that they could offload and just bulk up on picks. Four
Yeah.
players on that team had 100 points last year. Four. That's
Mm-hmm.
fucking crazy. Um, I don't know. I just like it's one of those weird situations where a top team just is starting off so sluggish, and like you see it in other
Yeah.
sports, and you don't think about like, oh, the powerhouse, the team. Like you expect Edmonton to be in the playoffs every year. You expect
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton to contend with Vegas for the Pacific Division championship every year. Like,
Right.
and god damn, man, they are to me as disappointing. Well, no, I don't want to say they're as disappointing. They're more confusing to me than San Jose is. San Jose is
Okay.
disappointing. Like that team should be better, but like I'm just confused. What changed in the offseason so significantly on that team that has catapulted them from top threat to, yeah, we're looking at maybe a draft lottery pick. Because like I don't
Yeah.
think they really lost anyone, did they?
I don't think so. Not that I remember anyway.
Not anyone significant. So I guess a better question is what happens first? Do they start trading players or do they start firing management?
Excellent question.
I saw your brain trying to process that one.
Yeah, probably management,
That's, I would say, probably the easiest thing to
you know.
cut off, you know?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think to start I mean, and I think that that's just what most teams end up doing anyway. Um, but I think it's got to start from the management because especially with once management changes, then some of your players may start changing around. Look at the Wild did the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just like you got to give them at least the chance there to see if that's something that's going to benefit and work with them. It may not, but it might.
How long did they play this poorly before Connor McDavid requests a trade? That's really the big piece of
Yesterday.
all of this is Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Like, and I look across the interwebs, a lot of YouTube channels that I follow. A lot of people are just outright making the claim that I think all of us kind of feel, and that's like Edmonton's kind of ruined the career of Connor McDavid. Like they've wasted his like, I don't want to say his peak years because he's still young, but like the good part of his early career,
Yeah.
like I feel like he's kind of having to do it all himself.
Yeah.
And
I
like
can
it
see
helps
that.
that he's such an amazing passer and he was the first star of the week, which we'll get to, and those numbers are crazy for this past week, but it's just like they let go of Campbell, right? They
Hmm.
signed him last year thinking he was the guy because the year before they had 41-year-old Mike Smith as their goaltender in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like that's not kosher. That's not a good move. Uh they signed Campbell expecting because Campbell came off of a great year the previous year with Toronto,
Yeah.
and he just hasn't panned out. Like the guy was kind of a sieve last year. Thank God Stuart Skinner came onto the scene, and as a rookie, just
Right.
like dominated. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's his starting spot to lose now.
Right.
But I think this kind of translates back to what we said last year: is like playoffs. When your three best players aren't doing anything and the rest of the team is going, obviously you're not going to go anywhere, right?
Right.
This feels like, all right, the top players are doing stuff no one else is.
Right.
That's a problem. That's very much
Yeah.
so a problem.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm so curious to see what happens because I don't think Oilers fans need to hit the panic button right now. This
I
is
agree.
obviously a terrible fucking start.
Right.
But if there's any like consolation to that, we saw not that long ago the worst team in the NHL turn it around and win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Because St. Louis was the worst team in the league. Turned it around and
Yeah.
beat the Bruins in the Cup. That's, like it's possible, but it's just they need to figure it out fast. Like
Yeah.
really fast because we're what, 2 months away from the All-Star break?
Yeah. Although
Like
it
I would
feels like it would be still so much further.
I know, right? It doesn't feel like they've played like 20, 25 games already.
Right.
We're definitely at the quarter mark of the season and it feels like it just started.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like they're a team that we should all be, keeping a close eye on to see what goes down.
Oh, absolutely.
If you guys want to get your questions of the week to us, if you guys want to ask us a question, Hit us up in the comments. Hit us up on social media. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
Um, the 3 stars of the week this week. Third star is Predators goaltender UC Saros. He was 3-0 this week.
Right on.
Looks like he had a 2.35 goals against average and a .921 save percentage. He helped them extend their winning streak to 5 games at that point. UC Saros is a great goalie. So that's probably Saros is one of the reasons that the Preds are 10-10.
Right.
Second star is right winger for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Nikita Kucherov. In 3 games, he had 2 goals and 6 assists, totaling 8 points. I'm pretty sure he even scored one of the game winners for them. Nikita Kucherov is such a threat on that team that you cannot give that man any options to put one in the net or get a good pass. Same with our first star, Connor McDavid. In 4 games, he had 3 goals and 9 assists for 12 points. He has factored into 12 or yeah, he's factored on 12 Edmonton's 19 goals this past week. To 63.2% of the goals scored, he had some sort of, hand in. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like and I don't know. Again, it's like what can you say about Edmonton besides Connor McDavid is your savior for everything. Um which is nuts. Those are the 3 stars of the week. Do you want to tell us about some sad boys and some naughty boys? Because there
Yeah.
are some naughty boys.
We do have some naughty boys, one of which is one of my own guys. Ryan Hartman, rightfully so in my opinion, did get suspended for 2 games for tripping, slew-footing Alex DeBrincat. Looking at the replay, it was 100%.
Oh yeah, like we were saying before we
the
started
right call.
recording,
Yeah.
he's lucky 2 is all he got.
Yeah, exactly. That does then forfeit $41,463.41 of his paychecks. I was just going, God, that's more than I make in a year, and he makes it in 2 days.
Same. Yeah, it's funny when I was talking to one of my friends who's a Bruins fan about the slew foot. He goes, the Marchand special."
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny.
Speaking of Marchand, I saw a quote from him the other day, and it was somebody asked him when he was going to retire, and he goes, "Well, I want to play as long as the league will have me," which, knowing my track record, could be tomorrow, could be 20 years from now.
That's funny. I like that.
We love a self-aware player.
I was gonna say
minimum.
He's dirty but amazingly self-aware.
Right? Yeah, as long as he realizes it. And then for fines, we have quite a few. Going back, the last date of recording was November 7th. So on the 7th, we have Ross Colton from the Avalanche. Got fined $5,000 for cross-checking Timo Meyer.
Yeah.
Meyer, yeah, that's what I thought. On the 13th of November, Leon Draisaitl of the Oilers got fined $5,000 for a dangerous trip, which I love that wording there, over against Bo Horvat. I didn't see what happened with that one.
I saw that. It was 100%. Yeah, no, he should have gotten fined. That one wasn't good.
Okay. I just have never seen like a dangerous trip used before as wording.
Yeah, he definitely. It was a very much so intentional trip.
Okay. And then on November 15th, Adam Ernie of the Oilers as well got fined $2,018.23 for elbowing Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
Yep.
On November 20th, Niles Hoglander. What a great name.
That is a great
from
name.
The Canucks got fined $2,864.58 for slew-footing Kevin LeBlanc.
There's been a lot of
On
slew footing
November-
this week. This past month.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, 2 in the last month. Minimum. Although with the Hartman, they called it tripping versus slew-footing. Sorry, on November 25th, Jacob Trouba of the Rangers got fined $5,000 for high-sticking Trent Frederick.
All right, so did
And-
you see that one?
I did not.
He basically swung his fucking stick at his face. Like,
Oh.
Trouba baseball swung at him. I'm
Yeah,
amazed he didn't get
awesome.
suspended. Because
Yeah,
that was fucking crazy.
I'll have to watch that one too, because yeah. And then yesterday, the 27th, Zach McEwen of the Senators got fined $2,018.23 for unsportsmanlike conduct against Matthew Tkachuk.
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of fines that are probably coming from that game this week.
Oh God,
Dude,
I didn't even think about that.
Like, I might have to see if it's on ESPN Plus's like replay. I kind of want to watch that game.
It might be too.
I'm gonna have to check because I kind of want to watch that game.
Or there'll at least be compilations of all of the fights,
all of the chaos.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. I'll see if I can find it.
And then for our injuries, from the Ducks, we have Radko Gudas, who is listed as out. Trevor Zegras is on IR. For the Arizona Coyotes, we have Travis Dermott, who is on IR with a hand injury. Jack McBain is on IR with a lower body injury, still, quote unquote, weeks away from a return, says Craig Morgan of the Phoenix Sports Reports. Vladislav Kolik, sure, is listed as IR. I don't know even how to comprehend that. And Juuso Välimäki is out with a mouth injury, won't play tonight, Tuesday. For the Bruins, we still have Milian Lukic is on IR. He has an ankle injury, but he is also taking an indefinite leave of absence after he was arrested Saturday morning on a charge of domestic abuse.
Yeah, say Milan Lucic has a little more to worry about than his ankle injury.
Yeah. And those reports come from Steve Conroy of the Boston Herald. So don't come after me.
The Boston Herald is usually dead on, so
yeah, pretty good. Yeah. For the Buffalo Sabres, Jordan Greenway is on IR. Jack Quinn also on IR with an Achilles injury. Does state that he did start doing rehab skates, according to the coach, which is a good thing. At least he's back on his feet. Chris Tanev is day-to-day. He took a shot to the face and couldn't finish Monday's game against Las Vegas. And then Jacob Markstrom is also listed as day-to-day from Calgary. For the Carolina Hurricanes, we have Andrei Svechnikov is listed as out, and Frederick Anderson is on IR.
There's still no update on this blood clot issue either with Freddie.
Yeah. For Chicago Blackhawks, we have Taylor Hall is on IR, as is Andreas Athanasiou.
Athanasiou. There it goes. I always forget how to say his last name. Athanasiou.
And Jared Tenorti. Tenorti was just placed on IR Saturday due to an oblique injury.
That's
for the Avs, we have Arturi Lehkonen, no longer wearing a neck brace.
Yeah, that's good.
Of the Colorado Hockey Now reports, but he is still on IR. And Samuel Girard is also listed as IR. For Columbus, we have Damon Severson listed as out, and Jack Roslovic is listed as IR. For Detroit Red Wings, we have Patrick Kane is listed as out with that hip injury. Justin Holl is listed as day-to-day, or Hall.
I think it's Hall.
And Dylan Larkin is listed as out.
Damn.
Edmonton Oilers, we have Zach Hyman listed as out, and Dylan Holloway. Lower body is listed as being on the IR, but is also listed as week to week per coach. And for Florida Panthers, we have Josh
Mahura.
Listed as IR. For the Los Angeles Kings, we have Minnesota boy Blake Lizotte, listed as day-to-day. Tobias Bjornfoot.
That's such a good last name.
It really is. And it just says he's listed as IR, but Bjornfoot's undisclosed injury is, quote, thankfully nothing major. AHL Ontario coach Marco Sturm told Jared Safran of LA Kings Insider on Thursday.
How great is it that Marco Sturm is a fucking coach in the AHL? Like, that makes me so happy.
I didn't even realize that. I was like, and then Victor Arvidsson, still listed as IR, considered month to month with the back injury we've talked about before. For Montreal, we have Arbor Zekic.
I think. I'm not sure. I got nothing.
We'll go with that. Is on IR. Jordan Harris also listed as IR, and Raphael Harvey Pinard listed as IR with a lower body injury will be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks.
Dude, that's such a good name.
For the Nashville Predators, yeah, it is. Nashville Predators, we have both Cody Glass and Tommy Novak listed as IR. For New Jersey Devils, we have Timo Meyer, Eric Hala, both listed as out, and Thomas Nosek is listed as IR.
I will say Dougie Hamilton has also been updated on this list as day-to-day, so whatever happened to Dougie must have happened tonight.
Oh, I don't have him on mine at all.
Did you refresh the page? Because you're on ESPN, right?
Oh, yeah, now he is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so Dougie Hamilton, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever happened must have just happened.
Yeah, like literally, because I refreshed it a minute ago. For New York Islanders, we have Sebastian Aho.
Not that Aho, the other Aho.
Listed as upper body injury, was placed on IR yesterday. And Adam Peklik is also as listed as IR. For New York Rangers, we have Philip Cheadle. I'm so close.
You were almost there.
Listed as IR with an upper body injury. He was moved to long-term injured reserve today per Cap Friendly. Capo Caco.
Which is such a great name.
It's just listed as long-term IR. Adam Fox also listed as IR with a lower body injury, but he was a full participant on Monday's practice. Appears to be on track to return once he is eligible to be activated off of long-term injured reserve. Wednesday versus Detroit, it looks like, is when he's eligible. But we'll see. And then Ben Harper is listed as out. For Ottawa, we have Thomas Chabot. I don't care if that's the right way to say it.
I believe that is the right way to say it.
Okay, because it just makes me giggle.
Chabot.
Good. Chabot.
It's a great last name.
It's just fun to say that way. Coach DJ Smith expects Chabot a hand injury to return Friday versus Columbus. Ridley Gregg is listed as IR, and Mark Kaslick is also listed as IR with an high ankle sprain last Thursday versus the Kings is when he did that. For Philadelphia, we have Noah Cates is listed as out with a lower body injury, a broken foot. So I'm sure he will be out for a while. Looks like that happened today as well. For Pittsburgh, we have Chad Ruedel. It sounds like a freaking Pokemon.
I know. Chad Ruedel.
Chad Ruedel. Listed as IR, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, IR with lower body injury. No clear recovery timeline. Will be sidelined indefinitely.
I think he broke his leg. I could be wrong. So I don't remember. I'll have to ask my dad.
No, I seem to remember that at least there was somebody on Pittsburgh, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway. And Sam Poulin is also listed as out. For San Jose, we have Thomas Hertel listed as day-to-day. Philip Zadina, upper body injury, was placed on IR Monday. Jan Ruda, IR undisclosed, was placed on IR last Friday. And Oscar Lindboom Bloom listed it as IR, lower body injury, considered week to week right now. For Seattle, we have Jaden Swartz listed as day-to-day, Brendan Tanev listed as out, and Andrei Burkovsky, upper body injury, was skating before practice Friday in non-contact jersey, though. Allison from Root Sports reports.
I feel like Tanev's been on the IR for a while.
Well, didn't he get that nasty hit on him?
I think so. He's only played 8 games this season.
Yeah. I think he had a head injury from a hit. If I remember correctly.
I think that's what
for St. Louis, we have Joshua Jacobs listed in IR. For Tampa Bay, we have Connor Sherry listed as IR. For Toronto, we have Mark Giordano listed as out. John Kleinberg, player, has a doctor's appointment scheduled for this week in New York to determine the next step in his recovery process. He has a hip injury that must have just happened yesterday or last week. And then Tommy Liljegren.
Timothy Liljegren.
Tommy,
Can you tell we're both like not feeling well, guys? It's been a week.
Man, I slept until like 4 o'clock this afternoon. You'd think my brain would have had more than enough time to recover.
Nah, dude.
Not a chance in hell is what my brain's going. Timothy is also still on IR, long-term IR. For Vancouver, how would you say this first name? Pius?
Pius Suter?
We'll go with that. If anybody knows the proper way to say his name, let me know.
He is from Switzerland. Shout out to Switzerland.
Here we go. He is on IR with a lower body injury. He did, I guess, suffer a setback about a week ago. And then Carson Sosi, lower body injury, was placed on IR last Friday. For Vegas, we have Alec Martinez listed as out. And then Isaiah Seville and Daniil Mirmanov, both listed just as IR. For the Capitals, unfortunately, TJ Oshie is listed as IR. I'm sure Dee would know all of the details. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I know. I imagine she's like dead on it, though.
Yeah, so we'll have to hear from her. Hopefully next week she's feeling better. And can let us know what's going on there. Or I could Google it, but I won't. I like hearing it from her. And then for Winnipeg, we have Gabriel Vilardi listed as IR with a knee injury. Could return Thursday this week. And Rasmus Kupari is just listed as IR.
Yeah.
So there we go.
That is a good way to make up for the last couple weeks that we've missed.
Yeah.
I do
know.
Not
a lot of the same guys.
I do know. I don't think he's on the IR, but Mitch Marner took a puck to the face. I think either last night or today. It was right on the jaw. He ended up finishing the game with a cage. But I was like, God damn, everyone's getting hit in the face now.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I happened to stumble across it on Instagram, which, by the way, shout out to the NHL social media pages, because they are pumping out great content all the time. Maybe we should take some pointers.
Hey now.
Listen, we can't say anything because we just don't post.
That's not helping all of us feel like shit.
Won't we all have like lives? We're all busy. It'd be like that. I think the best way to round this out now is our obscure NHL player of the week. And this is a cool one. The player is Carl Voss. Fun fact, he's a Hockey Hall of Famer, but not for what you think.
Okay.
Not for playing. He was born in 1907 in Chelsea, Mass, and died in 1993 at the age of 86. His professional career stemmed from 1926 to 1938. Some of his cool stats. He won the Grey Cup, which apparently was did he play football too? Hold on. I didn't do a lot of reading on this guy, but like bruh, apparently he played football too. That's cool. He won the IHL championship in 1931 and 32. Selected to the IHL first All-Star team in 1932. Led the points in that league that year as well. He won the Calder Memorial Trophy in 1933, which, if you guys aren't aware, is the Rookie of the Year award in the NHL. Fun fact, he is the first player to ever receive that award.
Oh, wow.
He did win a Stanley Cup in 1938 with the now defunct. Oh no, he won it. I'm sorry. He won it with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay.
And he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1974 as a builder. So I assume he built arenas and stuff or something.
Awesome.
He played 261 games in the NHL, his first 12 games coming in 1926-27 with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 34 goals, 70 assists for 104 points and 50 penalty minutes. He played a lot more in the he didn't really play a lot more in the IHL. He had about the same success. 135 games, 48 goals, 41 assists for 89 points, but 101 penalty minutes. I'm sorry, 121 penalty minutes, including the playoffs where he had 21 total.
Okay.
His career was cut short due to a career-ending knee injury in training camp in 1938, which is not a good way to go out.
No.
He did work for the U.S. branch of CCM, and it looks like he had his time as a referee. And I'm here for it. I figured this was a very different way for us. Oh no, he did play football. There we go. This is a whole thing. I guess we'll take time to read about this too. I just noticed. Sorry guys. We are all over the place. It's been a couple weeks. He did lead a team in 1924 to the Grey Cup, which is the Canadian Football League's championship. The Queen's Golden Gales. Apparently, he played in a couple. Good for him.
Awesome.
Good for him. So, shout out to two-sport athlete Carl Voss. There's your fun fact for anyone who wants trivia. If anyone asks who won the Calder Memorial Trophy first, you know the answer now.
There you go.
That is our obscure player of the week.
Love it.
Well, I know this one's been kind of all over the place, guys.
We will eventually be back to our normal lives.
Obviously with the holidays and the past, life gets you. Or something
Right.
like life. But we will hopefully be back next week with everyone, not just two of us. Hopefully Dee is feeling better. She didn't sound great, but listen, it's Dee. She kind of bounces back pretty fast. So
She does.
Thank you guys so much for listening or watching wherever you are. Thank you. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Ding dong that notification bell. Shout out to Syndicate. Make sure it gives you any updates anytime we post anything. Also check us out on our socials. Give us a like rating and a review on wherever you get your podcasts. Also hit us up in the comment section. What do you guys think about Edmonton? What do you think is next for them? Do you think they can bounce back? We definitely want to hear from you guys. Anything else before we
I don't think
get
so.
the hell out of here?
No, I don't think so.
I know I am going to go
everybody.
finish watching the Ducks game. They are tied 1-1 in the second with Vancouver. So
Can't complain too much about that.
I know. Listen, they've lost They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. It's not good.
Right.
But other than that, thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see you all next time in the Face Off Circle.